Hey guys, the date is Sunday the 6th of November, and this is our Sunday service from Phoenix. I'm going to talk about three charts today that are setting up for the week ahead. Bearing in mind there is the US election in a couple of days, which might fill things out, so definitely trade with caution. Most brokers will be reducing the leverage that's available for us to trade. So keep that in mind before placing your trades and trade safe. The first pair we're looking at is Euro Aussie dollar. This is something which is still setting up from last week. We are awaiting the short trade off the potential wave 4 correction. So we see this as a corrective pattern to then go back down to the downside to complete a 5-wave impulse move. So that's on the Euro Aussie dollar at this key zone here. For those who trade the market structure, we can see there's been a few touches of this level, and we now have what will be called a retest. So it's retested it, and we are waiting for this to give us an entry signal to the downside, and we'll take it down to the potential wave 5. Keeping in mind this zone here is a key level, so once the price does get to this level, we'll be looking to manage our trades, potentially take some profits off the table before leaving the rest of the position open to get to the wave 5 typical completion zone. So that's on a daily. As many know, we will execute trades on the 4-hourly chart for the swing traders, and this is what the 4-hour chart looks like. It's still thinking about it at this point. A break below the 144,152 level would be a good signal to take that short trade with a stop just above the 145,646 level. The second chart we'd like to talk about is the Euro Swiss franc. So I'll pop it back on the daily and we'll have a look for the Euro franc. And this is at a key level to bounce back up. The chart isn't too tidy. It's a bit of a messy pair, but we've got a potential zone here. Once again, if we take a look, we've got this touch. We've got several touches around this point, and I'll just increase my screen just a second. Right, so we have several touches around this point. This was a spike. This was news related, and if we see, it's a key zone. So we're currently at the zone here, and we'll be waiting for a reversal to take us back to the upside. But as I said, it's a bit of a messy pair, so trade with caution on this one. But we'll be expecting this trade to pick up from here and go back towards the upside based on what history tells us on this particular pair. So we'll take it down to the 4-hourly, which is where we'll be executing our trade from. And we can see the previous touches here. We've penetrated this zone, and we'll be waiting for a trade above this high to enter a long trade for a swing position that will last a few days or weeks. And the final pair we'll talk about is the dollar CAD. So I'll stick it back on the daily chart and we'll have a look at the dollar CAD. And this is one that's setting up from last week. We've still not had an entry. We've got the ABC CDE corrective rally from the impulse. So this was the impulse wave. And then we have our corrective rally going up here, and we'll be expecting this to go back down to continue the impulse rally. So it's currently not in a position to set up. We're expecting a little bit more upside movements before it tumbles down. But as as we said, there is a presidential election coming up, and leverage will be reduced. Based on the results, Trump or Hillary, it would have a significant impact on the US dollar. And so trade with caution. We are looking at, as technical analysts, based on patterns for things to go to the downside. But bear in mind, there is that massive fundamental news coming out, which could completely distort the chart. So make sure you put your stops in and you're trading with the appropriate risk per trade. Thanks for tuning in. Speak to you next week. Happy trading.